I've had the great luck, really, and good fortune most of the time. I would call it good fortune to be the Congress representative, the House of Representatives representative from Staten Island and Brooklyn, New York. I want to thank Ajmal and you and your family for having us in your home. I send you greetings from Sean Sweeney from the community board. He just called me and said he could not make it today because he has a soccer game.
Yeah, he's another soccer.
And I think that that's the one sport, I know that that's the one sport that will excuse him for is soccer, right? Anything else? If it's basketball or baseball or football, American football, we'd say no. But soccer, the imam says soccer is okay. So we'll let him go. I am, as I said, been in the House since a year ago. I've lived in Staten Island all my life, one of 7 children, and I am the son of a first-generation immigrant. My mother immigrated to this country in the early 1950s from Germany. And that's an important experience because her experiences, I think, will help inform me when it comes to talking to people who are also first-generation immigrants and the challenges that they face, many unfair. And if you think why I say that's relevant, because I know that in particular for Muslims now in our country, it is a time of tension, of balance, of sometimes government not acting properly, sometimes acting properly. But that experience was similar to my mother. Imagine coming from Germany after World War II to this country. There were very much similar emotions and feelings at that time. I went to school right over here by St. Joseph Hill, as I said, one of 7 children. Went to New York University, New York Law School, where I met my wife, Judge Judith McMahon, who is the first woman to be elected to the Supreme Court from Staten Island. And we live over by Richmond University Medical Center. We have 2 children, one son who is a junior in college out in Indiana and at University of Notre Dame, and we have a daughter who is 17 years old. She's a senior over at Poly Prep in Brooklyn. And all of you parents can attest, and certainly the parents of daughters, you can attest that of all the great challenges we face, certainly the greatest is being parents of a 17-year-old daughter. So we can all share in that. The last year, as you know, I've been in Washington working on issues as both a member of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, which is extremely important to us here in Staten Island and Brooklyn, dealing with the local issues. And remember that even though I'm a member of Congress and also a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, local issues are very important to me. So we are working very hard to do some important things here. I wish I could say to you that I'm going to fill all the potholes in Staten Island, but we are actually trying to find money in Washington to help localities deal with that after this very difficult weather. But we are making very important structural improvements to the Staten Island Expressway. With federal money, we're going to put another lane on the expressway to try to deal with that terrible traffic that occurs up and down the hill around Bradley Avenue, and also reconstruct the entrances and exits so that traffic can move better on Staten Island. We also continue to work very much on mass transportation. I say that because I know many of you are in business, and whatever that business is, whether it's taxi cabs or moving freight or moving goods, it's important that you can do that better. And also many professionals and doctors, and you know that it's important for our health that we do something about the traffic congestion here as well. And we're also working to rebuild the ferry terminal infrastructure, the undergirding of that. All told, we've brought back to Staten Island and Brooklyn, we'll mention Brooklyn as well, we're rebuilding the train stations on the D&M line, as well as the 86R station. Did a lot of work on the Bell Parkway. All told, we've brought back to this district over $600 million. Over $600 million to the district for those major infrastructure improvements, and that's in 1 year. So when people say whatever, there may be Republicans who challenge me in the fall and led by former representatives, but we've done more in 1 year than their whole group did in 30 years in that regard, and it's something I'm very proud of. And we've also, healthcare, also a very big concern for us in this district, in our nation, and I'm happy to report that we've done a lot of work getting resources to Lutheran Hospital, Maimonides, Richmond University, Staten Island Hospital, helping them survive this difficult climate, and helping the men and women who work in there as our medical professionals do what it is that they would need to do every day. But I mention that, but I also know that my work on the Foreign Affairs Committee is very near and dear to those of you who are here today. And let me be very clear that it is for me as a member of the Subcommittee on the Middle East and South Asia, including the South Asia subcontinent, that our relationship with Pakistan in particular, our relationship with the Muslim world in particular, is very important to me, as it is to all of us in Congress. And it's for, I think, for me, two reasons. One, America's position in the world has to be considered and part of what we do, and also for me here locally, because again, what I remember is that all politics is local, and as the Pakistani American community, as the Muslim American community continues to grow in my district, I see it as an important part of my job to be a representative for all people. And that includes all the new immigrants and the new growth we have in population, as well as those perhaps here before. And I will say the same thing, if I'm in a room of African Americans. I'll talk about how it's important for me to represent their interests as well and across the board. But clearly, there's no question that in my district now, the growth among the Muslim American community is significant, dramatic, and it's something that I understand is important for me to represent. We have done a lot of work, I think, in Congress in this year, in particular with our relationship with Pakistan, and of course by need with Afghanistan as well. The Kerry-Lugar-Berman bill is something that I think we can all agree that we have to give more aid to Pakistan as it rebuilds its local infrastructure, rebuilds its strength in local government, and the money that we put in there I'm proud to do. I'm also a proud co-sponsor of the Van Hollen bill, which looks to even increase our relationship, our interaction with Pakistan in the future, and the greater Muslim world as well. We've also, I think it's important, I will be going the end of April to Afghanistan and Pakistan to visit, and so we will certainly be talking to you and inform that trip a little bit more through our conversations with you all as we go forward. That's something that I promise to do. Because I'm a first-termer, and I'll come to the politics in a moment, I'm not traveling on any junkets, only to the places in the world that are very important. And clearly, right now, most important to our world here in America, which is always important to us all, but to the world as well, and to the world peace, is the situation in Afghanistan, in Pakistan. Was greatly honored to be at the dinner with General Musharraf. He got me a very nice card, by the way, for the holidays, and we had some great conversations there as well, in particular informing me more about the relationship between Pakistan and India, and how important that is to not only Pakistan, but I think to the world as a whole, and to America as well, and we will continue to work on that. I talked a little bit about the local work that we're doing, but we're also, you should know, it is very important to me to deal with the individual cases of Pakistani Americans, Muslim Americans, have immigration problems and the like in the district. I have Jay Rahman is here. He works in our office. And where's Timur?
He should be on his way.
We also have Timur Chaudhary, who is related to a very great man who is here as well, who works in my office. And you should know that not only in my office in the 13th Congressional District, which is Staten Island and Southern Brooklyn, but we've been approached by Pakistani Americans in particular from Brooklyn, but the greater Brooklyn beyond the borders of my district, where they don't feel that they are able to speak to their local representative and get help with their cases. Be that as it may, we're actually sending Timur and Jay in the future. We'll be going over to Brooklyn to meet with those beyond my district to make sure that we can help these new immigrants with their individual immigration